Good morning. Welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I am Razzle11, or on Twitter you can find me at Razzle11Grinds. Taking a look at some pitching for today, Saturday, May 6th. Uh, we have a 4-game early slate and then an 8-game main slate, I believe it was. Should probably count ahead of time. Yep, looks like an 8-gamer. Nothing really exciting to talk about for the early 4-gamer. We have some options in play, but I don't know. They all seem to have wrinkles or warts or whatever. Uh, Rasmussen against the Yankees lineup seems like the obvious play, even though he hasn't been all that strong the last couple starts and in 3 of his last 5. Some kinks to the armor a bit. Herman is somebody I just generally don't play, and obviously I'm not going to pick on Tampa Bay's offense, uh, but he has looked good at times, so maybe, but I just not somebody I'm prioritizing. I think my main target on this slate is going to be end up being Tyler McGill, who hasn't even been that great, but he's facing a weak Colorado team. Um, Wainwright was atrocious in his minor league rehab, so I'm not really excited. I think people are going to, blindly just plug him against Detroit, and while it might work out, I'm at his advanced age and the amount of innings that he has thrown, it might be a spot where I just wait to see Wainwright get back to normal, I guess, before I start using him. I really am debating Austin Gomber because the Mets have been so ice cold, but that feels dirty. But the last 2 starts he's been really solid. K's aren't there, but these last 2 starts have been good. So it's an interesting little 4-game slate. Uh, Not a lot from a pitching standpoint that makes me feel super excited about playing, but I'll be out there trying to take down some money in this 4-gamer. Let's take a look at the main. Really upset that the Minnesota Twins Cleveland Guardian game is not part of this because it's 2 of my favorite pitchers on the day in Logan Allen and Sonny Gray. But we just have to work with these 16 guys here. At the top, the obvious going to be Spencer Strider. Don't really have to say a whole lot. Um, had a bit of a rough outing last time out against the Mets. Still got the W. His worst K outing of the year. Still struck out 8. Baltimore obviously is a dangerous offense, but I mean, it's Strider, and I basically would assume he's going to have 8 plus strikeouts, probably 9 plus. Uh, at home, not only this year but last year as well, his walk rate goes way down and his strikeout rate goes way up. So, just a great spot, even against a strong Baltimore team. I like the upside. Hate the 11.5K price tag, but we're just going to have to go with it, I think, on this slate. It's kind of rough looking at it to see that Evaldi is the second highest priced option on the slate, and he might be one of the highest owned, which is scary against Trout and Otani. But I don't know, people are going to see this complete game shutout against the Yankees. He did get some extra time off after throwing 113 pitches. So maybe that helps, but man, my initial gut feeling on Evaldi is to fade him at that price point coming off that game. The problem is I don't know if we have the luxury of being able to fade him with the pitching options on this slate, to be honest. So it's one I'm going to kind of dig in a little bit more to try to find a reason to fade or use him. Um, but yeah, my first instinct is fade him, but we may just have to blindly use him. Alex Cobb, not going to be spectacular in the spot, I don't think, but he might be steady enough. Pitching at home, obviously, we know hitting in San Francisco is not the easiest. Um, Milwaukee has fared much better against right-handed pitching, so there is some worries there. But he has 7+ Ks in 2 out of his last 3 starts. The issue is that his K numbers go way down at home. Uh, he does pitch to the ballpark a bit more, but he does have a complete game shutout at home, which is recent. Extreme ground ball rate. I think he's probably a steady option. I don't think he's shutting out the Brewers today, but he's just solid. He actually performed really well in the Mexico City game. Giving up 3 runs to San Diego in that situation uh, is actually extremely strong because of all the home runs that were being hit. So, and that game had a 20.5 game total, so that kind of tells you how well he threw the ball. Kind of going to this range here. I don't think I can get on the Snell train. I'm gonna have to dig into his history against the Dodgers. Last year. Uh, I know the Dodgers can strike out quite a bit against left-handed pitching because they do rely on so many left-handed bats in their main lineup that Snell probably has some upside. He's pitching at home, so it might be worth it. He's just not going to be the chalk play that he was against Cincinnati, which was crazy to see him so high owned. I know it was a great matchup for him, but still, the way that he's thrown, all the walks, and excuse me, um, yeah, it's tough to consider Snell when he's chalky. Kenzie Gore is one of my favorite young pitchers, but I also really like this Arizona Diamondbacks lineup. Uh, there's volatility. There is upside. He shut down Atlanta earlier in the season. He does have a walk issue, which is something that drives me absolutely nuts. But there are Ks. He was solid against the Baltimore squad that we know hits left-handed pitching really well. Just absolutely dominated the Mets. Did struggle last time out, but I think Gore is certainly worth GPP shares. Detmers is a guy that normally I like, but I think I'm going to be off of him in this spot against the Rangers. Uh, Texas has put up some runs against some left-handed pitching this year, and I don't think I want to rely on Detmers to get it done in this spot. Dustin May, all sorts of talent, just no idea why he can't rack up strikeouts, and again, walk issues for him as well. I think he's viable, but he's definitely not a priority for me. Most of these guys down here in the bottom half are initially just going to be fades for me. I'm not really interested in trying to figure out who has a okay game. I just don't see any of these guys down here having an elite level game. So that makes me feel fine fading, a majority of them. If I had to pick some guys that I think might be okay out of this group, I'm going to look at JP France making his major league debut. Strong K numbers in the minor leagues this season. Did walk a few too many guys, but those K numbers are very interesting. Seattle is striking out quite a bit. 5,200 is a very nice price point. I'm gonna have to kind of dig into pitch count numbers and see what kind of range we can look for in this game. but I think France stands out as the best cheap option for us for GPP upside. Tommy Henry does get a decent matchup, but he hasn't been very strong. Doesn't offer a ton of K upside. I, so right there, I'd obviously prefer to go with France with his K upside. Uh, Kluber could always surprise, but I'm not really interested in attacking Phillies with a right-handed pitcher. So I'd rather just kind of let others use him, except expect that I probably see him put up 10 to 13 DK points, um, and assume that I can make it up elsewhere. One name that I wish I could feel confident in using, Brady Singer. Had some terrible starts this year, and then he's had a couple really solid starts. This game has a pretty high total. I think it's the highest actually on the day. Offenses have exploded in Kansas City the last couple of days. So there's, some worry, but when he puts things together, he looks like a guy that should be, this 8,800 that he was to begin the season, the first two games, 88, 8,900. He's down to 7K. He's got some ugly games. Atlanta's it's gonna happen. He gave up 4 home runs. Yeah, Atlanta's an elite offense. The Twins are dangerous. 8 runs. That happens. Shut down a very strong Arizona offense, or at least maybe not strong, but a team that's playing really well. Struggled against Texas. Happens. Shut down a strong Toronto team to begin the season. So there's upside there. It's just super volatile this year. So I have a feeling I'm going to go overweight on Brady Singer, but with the understanding that it may backfire a ton on me. So there we have it. A little longer video considering the games on the main slate, but if you enjoy what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notifications on, get the alerts of whenever we drop videos. Hit the comments. Give me your thoughts on a guy like Brady Singer, um, or what you're gonna do with JP France down here. Are you gonna ride the upside with his K ability, or are you just gonna skip him over like some people do with rookie pitchers? But yeah, thanks a lot for checking it out. I will put links in the description below if you want to join us at DFS Army. You can use promo code RAZ for 10% off your monthly membership. And as always, best of luck, everybody.